Guys, it's Miss Simpson, and it is time for grammar today. So, we are going to be talking about transition words today and tomorrow. So let's go ahead and let's talk about what transition words are. So, transition words, they keep writers from getting lost and confused. So, they are typically words or phrases that are like a bridge between our ideas. So, between our sentences and our paragraphs. So, here is an example right here. There said there are many things you can do to stay safe on the playground. For example, be sure not to swing while someone is in front of you. That is a great example of using a transition word. It helps the flow of your paper. So there are many different reasons why we use transition words. So here are some categories that transition words kind of fall in. So there are some that are to contrast. So that would be like despite, however, yet, rather, instead, even though, otherwise. If they were to say, there are many things you can do to stay safe on the playground. However, many kids do end up getting hurt. That could be a great one for contrast. To compare is likewise, as well as, either, similarly, in the same way. So if we're showing time, that would say recently, now, after, then, finally, before, first, following. Sometimes they're going to show us examples, like, for example, to illustrate, such as, or to show a cause and effect, as a result, consequently, or to summarize, all in all, as a result, finally, therefore. Those are all ones that we typically see. So I want to take a look at this passage, and you're going to help me figure out where the transition words go in this paragraph. So at the bottom, we've got a word bank. So let's first look up and let's see which words we have to use. So I see, in fact, another example, instead, soon, however, to conclude, for instance, then, therefore, yet. So I'm going to first look at to conclude. That's obviously going to go at the bottom of our paper, right? Because it's an ending transition word. There are a bunch more, but let's start at the top. Imagine having your very own superhero that lives in your house. Blank, imagine that your superhero is your dad. So should I say, in fact, imagine that your superhero is your dad. Instead, however, what do you think that I should do? Which transition word do you think I should put in that sentence? Look down here and see. So I'm thinking it's either in fact, I think I'm going to do then. So let's see how that sounds. Imagine having your very own superhero that lives in your house. Then imagine that superhero is your dad. Ooh, that sounds real good, doesn't it? Let's keep reading. Now, my dad doesn't have super strength or the ability to fly. Blank, he doesn't have to do that to be considered my superhero. So when I think of a transition word just off the top of my head, I feel like I would say, however, something of the in contrast ones. So I'm thinking, let's see how however sounds. My dad doesn't have super strength or the ability to fly. However, he doesn't have to do any of that to be considered my superhero. Ooh, that one sounds really good right there. However, okay, I want you to read this next part, these next couple sentences, and choose the transition word that goes in this blank. I'm going to read it, and then I want you to do it. My dad and I spent a lot of time playing games together. Blank, last night we played Xbox for 2 hours while my mom was shopping. So I'm thinking it's like kind of like, for example, maybe. For example, last night, but they don't have for example, but they do have for instance. That's kind of like for example. So let's check and see if we like that one. My dad and I spend a lot of time playing games together. For instance, last night we played Xbox for 2 hours while my mom was shopping. That sounds pretty good. Blank, if she would have been there, she would have made us turn it off in 30 minutes. What do you think goes there? Look down here. Look up there. What do you think is going to go there? I'm thinking in fact. In fact, if she would have been there, she would have made us turn it off in 30 minutes. I like that one. Let's keep going. Blank, we are going to invite our neighbors over to have a Monopoly tournament. Maybe soon. We are going to invite our neighbors over to have a Monopoly tournament. That sounds pretty good too. Let's keep going. When you're not playing games together, we sometimes go to the horse races. We bet a lot of money when we go. Blank, my mom doesn't like us to go very often. I think that might be another however. However, my mom doesn't like us to go very often. You know how moms are about money. One time I bet money on a horse named Loser and he won. My dad and I ended up winning $50. Blank of something we do together is fishing. Maybe another example. Instead of something we do together is fishing. Yet of something, no. To conclude of something, therefore, I think the only thing we have is another example. Here's what I do when I'm figuring out transition words. I go through and I read the transition word in that sentence and I see how it sounds. And if it sounds pretty good, then if there's more than one that sound good, that's when I try to figure out, excuse me. If it's telling me an example, if it's comparing and contrasting, I've got to figure those things out. But this one, the only one that sounded good was another example. Let's keep going. Another example of something we do together is fishing. We drive to Medina Lake, take our fishing poles, and rent a boat. Last time we went fishing, it began to rain. I thought that we would have to go back to shore. Blank, my dad assured me that we would be okay because we are tough. So should I say, instead, my dad insured me, yet my dad insured me, therefore, I'm thinking maybe instead. Because instead of going back to shore, his dad assured him that he would be okay. When we arrived back home, we were extremely wet and muddy. My mom did not like that one bit. Blank, when she saw that we caught 10 bass, she smiled and said, "What's a little mud when you have fish for dinner?" So should I say to conclude, therefore, or yet? My mom did not like that one bit. Therefore, or yet, when she saw, I'm thinking yet. That sounds better to me. Yet, when she saw that we caught 10 bass, she smiled and said, "What's a little mud when you can have fish for dinner?" Blank this paper. I would like to thank my dad. To conclude this paper, I would like to thank my dad for always spending time with me and teaching me things every boy should know. Therefore, he just might be the greatest dad in the whole universe. He really is my hero. Okay, that does sound pretty good. So when I'm picking my transition words, I'm thinking to myself, how does it sound? Does it sound good? Does it sound bad? Does it fit with that sentence? Is it telling me the right things in the right order? Today for your assignment, you are going to do some transition word task cards. So you're going to look at the task card and you're going to decide which transition word fits best within that sentence. All right, guys, those transition word task cards are posted right down below. Y'all have fun and get to work. Goodbye.